In 2025, there are one set of TaylorMade irons that I would buy, and it's these. Introducing the not brand new TaylorMade P790 aged copper irons. Now these are to celebrate the 1980s TaylorMade logo, and I think it's fair to say these look outrageously good. So I got these secondhand from our friends at Golf Clubs for cash. I'll tell you how much I paid for them a little bit later on in this video, but I think these cover every single base that 90% of golfers around the world would want. You see, they are of course standard P790s with the flighted CG, with the hollow body design, with the through slot speed pocket, but with a couple of more additions that I think make these almost one of a kind. They are limited edition, they are quite difficult to get. However, a little birdie tells me that you can still get them on the TaylorMade website. So we'll kick things off with the low irons. We've got the 9-iron to start with. We're going to go through the bag and see just potentially how far all of these go, how they perform, and of course, what kind of spin rates we get and everything like that. Now, I've set a green out there at 150 yards. We'll kick off with the 9-iron. I think these have been treated a little bit as well because the copper's kind of gone off them a little bit, hasn't it? So I think the more we use these, the more they would kind of copper up and start to look better. We even have, who remembers the Grip Right by Golf Pride grips? They are so good. It reminds me, of course, of the TaylorMade Burner Mini driver. It is kind of that era. We have a very special driver coming as well very soon. So hit that subscribe button if you want to see it. I'm just excited, Rob. I'm just excited. Right, so loft-wise, they're not actually that strong. The 7-iron's 30.5. It's not weak, but it's not strong. I think as soon as you get into the 20s with the 7-iron, that's when you start to kind of think, oh, they're a little bit strong. But we'll put them all on screen now because they're readily available on TaylorMade's website. That feel, what TaylorMade have done with the P790 over 138 carry, 141 toe, what TaylorMade have done over the last 10 years with the P790 is nothing short of what Ford did with the Fiesta. They got something that was really, really, really good, made it better, made it better, made it better, made it even better, and then kind of snatched it from everyone and it's not available anymore. But luckily enough, the TaylorMade P790s are still available, and I think these aged raw ones, they're just... The P790 isn't necessarily a talking point, is it? But these are certainly a talking point because they have those kind of heritage looks. They just look fantastic to me. There's also a P770 version as well, so like you could also have them. It's a 7,001 spin with a 9-iron. It's plenty of spin, and I don't think these are going too far. It's a 149 carry that time. It was a better strike. You can see it's gone a little bit further, but it's still stopped nicely within that kind of 5 yards that you do want it to. Like with a 9-iron, what more performance do you want? Can I move it back in the stance and kind of flight it down? Yes, I can. I pulled that one a little bit, but we flight it down. We've brought the spin down, and that's going to carry a little bit further at 153, but you can see it's still in that same kind of front to back dispersion window that I do want. It's still that kind of 150 to 155. That released out more because I played it lower. If I aim right and do that, that shot will look even better because it's going to be more on target. And you can see I'm sort of learning with these clubs as we go, and you can manipulate them to go a little bit further or of course shorter if you do want to. Now when it comes to tech with these irons, there's quite a lot in there. You can imagine the TaylorMade P790 is one of the kind of premium irons when it comes to forgiving technological irons. And you see the tech that goes into these clubs is of course that copper design. So that is designed to blend heritage and modern innovation. We have individual head optimization. That features an advanced thick, thin back wall construction, and that strategically redistributes mass to enhance performance. Each iron is uniquely designed using proprietary AI mass optimization, placing every gram strategically to achieve specific performance goals, which I think is a game changer when it comes to iron design because you want every iron to perform differently and do the job that you want it to do. We also have flighted CG or FLTD CG TM, trademarked by TaylorMade if you want to go technically. That is strategically positioning the center of gravity lower in the long irons and progressively shifting it higher throughout the set. And that means that the precise mass distribution enhances launch and playability in the long irons, which we will test later on in this video, and also providing improved control in the scoring clubs, which we're currently doing. The irons also feature an intelligent sweet spot, and that combines a responsive face with a new internal shaping, and that's designed just to have a larger sweet spot to help you get a little bit more distance on those off-center hits. You can imagine I've had to read that off a little bit of a spec sheet because there's a lot to go at. But I think basically giving these a little bit of a different finish, putting the different marker on them, making sure they come with these KBS tall black shafts. You can get different shafts in these if you order them off the website. I think that's fantastic because obviously you want them in your specs, but I do think these look fantastic in them. And of course, I've already mentioned those retro grips, which just kind of make me happy. I don't know why, but they do. So there's that. We've got the 7-iron, we've got 180 yards. The 7-iron looks fantastic. The 9-iron for me maybe did look a little bit large, but this 7-iron, we're not going to flight this down. We're just going to hit a nice normal one. And I've hit that really bad. I've hit that almost shanked it. What's that going to carry? It's a 161 with a really bad strike up to 170. We're front edge of the green. This is why I really like the kind of Golf Sand Simulator, because you have a green. Sometimes if you were just testing on like a range, you're like, oh, that's short. But to still hit the green with that, spin at 5,000. Now, what about a good one? That's a toey one. We're kind of just testing that whole face. So we talked about the flighted CG, we talked about the enhanced sweet spot. So 165 out the toe. So we're still getting an okay carry with that. Let's have a look. I need to stand a bit wider, Bob, don't I? That's what we need to do. A little bit wider. Stretch out here and watch this. That's the shot. 5,009 spin. We've pulled it a little bit. There is a tiny bit of offset on here like you would expect from a P790. 176 carry. So that's kind of what I would expect. I think for me, I do hit a 7-iron 165 yards. But when it comes to like a P790, we know it's going to go probably that 10 yards further because of the tech and the lofts. So 30.5 degrees, as we mentioned with the 7-iron, it's not necessarily power lofts, but it's not like a blade, is it? That's nice. That is a lovely shot. We're not struggling to launch these at all as well. We can get that nice high trajectory. We can hit it straight. We can get it nice and close to the flag. Can we flight it down again? So that flighted CG or FLTD CG, if you want to be specific, you can see how high they have been going. But again, all we do, nudge it back in the stance, handle forward, and you can do it again. You can flight it down. You can get a little bit more distance. You can bring the spin rate down. 188. It is frightening, really, because you don't necessarily anticipate having that element of control, that element of versatility on an iron like this. And again, I've done exactly the same as I did with the 9-iron, because if I'm going to do that with this club, I need to aim slightly right because of my swing technique. Look at that. So if you are playing in the wind, you can still kind of use these clubs. You can still have a chance with these clubs. When we first saw the P790 come out, you were hitting it high and that was all you were getting, and they still felt really, really firm. These feel fantastic. Don't get me wrong, this is basically a review of a P790 iron, but I'm really happy that I managed to get these copper ones from our friends at Golf Clubs for Cash. Nice normal shot, come on. That's as good as I've got. Just trying to hit the distance, I'm not swinging overly big. That's really good. That is really, really solid. Now, let's finish on the 4-iron. Let's see just how far that can go. Because realistically, I have an inkling. Let's go on the driving range, Bob. Driving range, 4-iron. What do you reckon? 215, maybe? This looks really good. Now, I've used a TaylorMade P790 UDI for quite some time, in and out of the bag. So having this 4-iron doesn't really look overly kind of different to me. That honestly sounded ridiculous. It did, it sounded ridiculous. It's a 205 up to 220 yards. It's bang smack in the middle. It's excellent. It's excellent. Yeah, exactly, Bob. What more do you want? Obviously, you're paying a premium for this finish, for the retro logo in, for basically what they are as a product. They're a limited edition. I think if you are going to spend that money, I don't mind spending a bit more for something that's a little bit different, a bit more of a talking point. With a lovely fade down there. Are we basically saying I should have these in the bag? 206, releasing up to 220 again. The consistency levels are really good. Like we're in the fairway, we're hitting it nice. Spin rate's 3.3, it's quite low for a 4-iron, but it's a hollow bodied 4-iron, so what more do you really want? Now that was bottoming out the face. I don't know if you could tell by the sound. Oh, we've dropped 2 yards carry because we've hit bottomy. Through slot speed pocket, properly doing its job there. Hats off to that. Now let's ruin this dispersion with one last one when we should probably have finished the video already. Oh, stop it. Guys, if you've enjoyed that, smash that subscribe button below. If you want to check out the guys at Golf Gloves for Cash, I will link them below. That's 212 carry, and I'm in love. Not with you, Robbie. Oh.